All right, ready? I don't care about your feelings.
That was so off. You'd be left of Lenin.
I can't believe you said that. Oh, jeez.
You have no power here.
What? Just two brothers.
It's just two brothers.
So you said this is kind of a trickle-down thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think we really got to look at what has been happening, especially in the Biden administration for the last few months, because he has had a bad last couple of months. Like, bad. Like, I don't think the Trump administration ever had something this poor. And, the Obama administration, I don't think even had... I think that this might be the worst few months, maybe since Jimmy Carter.
Oh, it's worse than Carter.
I mean, fine. Go all the way.
I think it's probably worse than Carter. It's because there's so many more facets than when Carter was elected.
Right?
I mean, yeah, you had some wars and you had he didn't really have the inflation that we have right now. But now we can run down the list here.
Yeah.
I mean, look at everything that he's got going on. You had, the administration comes right out of the gate with the whole Afghanistan problem.
Yeah, we talked about that in one of our previous episodes. I mean, that was I think if we look at the polls, once Afghanistan happened, it just went... I think that moment was when the mask kind of got pulled off. That, hey, maybe this Joe guy isn't exactly the nice old man I thought he was. Which, if you were paying attention at all for the last 40 years, you would know that. But let's keep going, because I think maybe the "Let's Go Brandon" chant is quite possibly the worst thing that could have happened to his administration.
Well, and it's such a capacity. I mean, they're doing that everywhere. I hear it all the time. Like, just out in public, just like people are just walking around and instead of like hi, like that's what people say. It's like that's where I am. That's like a greeting. Like everybody is saying it all the time.
I've been trying to say it to.
So, but what that shows is it shows the volume of disdain that the country has already, and I think that was that's a culmination of these other few things. So you have that happening, inflation at one of the highest points it's ever been ever. Most other administrations haven't had to deal with that because they haven't caused that. You give away money the way that you do, and you think you can just print more. You instill quantitative easing at the level that you have, which now, if you don't know much about that, you should really look it up. It's the way that money works and debt between the government and the Federal Reserve. They're pulling back on some of their quantitative easing to try and help that right now. They also have the shipping problem, which is also caused by the Biden administration, and that's a multifaceted problem. The thing that I find really interesting about it is the union's involvement with that, and how the problem is such a problem in blue states. Texas and Florida don't have that problem, and they have shipping ports, and it's business as usual there. I was actually down by one here 2 weeks ago. I was down by a shipping port in Texas, and there was ships coming in and out just like normal. They're just doing the whole thing, and they were unloading them. So they have that, and then you got the border crisis happening and continue to happen. They've just been, this administration's been just chock full of media. I mean, he's keeping them busy. I mean, it's trying to cover all of the pandemonium all the time is that's why there's more news networks that have just sprung up, because it's like, holy crap, people aren't covering this because it's too much to cover because of the insanity.
How would you like to have Psaki's job to pretty much get up and wipe the have to wipe the administration's arse every time because he keeps on deucing himself.
Well, literally and figuratively. She has absolutely no morals. She is one of, I believe, one of the worst people probably in the country. She that is a downright evil person. She will straight up lie to anybody over anything. She will try and do whatever she can for the party. I mean, she's like, if you've ever seen the movie 1984, in 1984 they have this gal that shows up on the screen all the time to berate people and tell them what they have to do and tell them that everything's perfect. She is the lady on the screen in 1984. That's what she is.
Maybe we need to have a competition for Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh, that's not a competition.
Ooh, I don't know.
She
Gretchen Whitmer is
Oh, yeah, Whitmer's up there. Yeah, she's you don't hear about her as much though now, but she's definitely, I'll tell you what, in the next elections you're gonna hear Gretchen Whitmer. She's gonna be a candidate for president next time.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
I guarantee you she is. Anybody that's that tyrannical and that power hungry, the Democrats love to put them up as a candidate for election.
Let's keep going down.
And you have Biden's Build Back Better. Holy crap, could you imagine if it was Build Back Worse? Jeez, it'd be
He's
horrible.
certainly building the Taliban.
It'd be unbelievable. Yeah, I mean they've reaped all the rewards of that
Building
campaign.
China back better.
So that's China. Well, yeah. They're definitely reaping the rewards of a Biden administration at the expense of the American people. We have failing infrastructure, and I'm on top of that. I'm gonna go with the failing infrastructure bill. A page out of the Democrat playbook is let's change the definitions of things. So here we go. We have an infrastructure bill, and now people are part of our infrastructure. Bull crap. Number one, social programs shouldn't be part of the federal government in the first place. That's not the point of the federal government. Number two, social platforms are not infrastructure. I don't care what they want to say. It's a bunch of crap. Infrastructure is hard infrastructure. It's your power grid. It's your roads and bridges and buildings and airports and that's what that's supposed to go. Absolutely tangible. LGBTQWTF. See what I did there? All of that is that none of that is part of the infrastructure. They can do that all they want. Now, one of the big things they have in there is paid preschool. Think of that for a second. Okay, we're going to brainwash your kids in school, so now we just need them a little bit earlier because apparently we haven't done a good enough job because a Republican won in Virginia. So we need to cut that off right now. Get your kids in there for more brainwashing. I mean, and once you have paid preschool and all day kindergarten and crap like that, that never ever goes away. That's free daycare for parents, especially the lazy ones that don't want to actually do anything with their kids, and they send them off to a government school and they learn government crap. And then you have more people like Jen Psaki being produced. And that's what that infrastructure bill is truly about when they talk about that kind of stuff.
The Democrat Party here, or you're going to see the media, they've been kind of cowbelling this as the reaction to the Virginia election. They're saying, oh, well, if we had just passed Build Back Better and the infrastructure program, we would have won, which absolutely isn't true. These are pretty unpopular. Yes, I know that the polls show that individually child tax or child free daycare and free college and these things are all really popular. I get that. Yeah, if you poll anyone and say, hey, would you like free daycare? Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be popular. But what they don't attach to that question is the cost of it or, how long this goes on for. They don't attach these things. They just ask, would you like this to be free? And everyone would say, oh, yeah, I would love for it to be free. But, it isn't free. You are paying for it. So,
and that isn't the government's job. I mean, that straight up is not the government's job. That's not why we have a crap federal government.
Well, you're talking about
the federal government.
Longer discussion about what the federal government's job truly is.
Oh, yeah. I understand that, but that's one of the things that people really forget. Yeah. They get asked this stuff, and a lot of times it's out of context.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Right. They don't, they just say, hey, would you want somebody to pay for your college.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
yeah, sure.
I mean, did they say, hey, what we want to do is tax the crap out of you to pay for other people's college to get degrees that are pointless? Now, if they worded it like that, it wouldn't quite be as popular.
Exactly. And they attach no cost to it or anything like that. So it's
already paid for.
Yeah, I'm sure. And you see, it's interesting when you look at these bills because they say that it's going to cost zero, yet they want to tax uncapitalized or unrealized gains so that they can pay for it.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. How do you tax something that's unrealized? It's like a theoretical tax on something that may or may not actually be that value. And on top of that, you're talking about paper investment stuff. You want to tax stock market gains. I mean, holy crap, that could go backwards quickly. You think they're going to reimburse that to you?
I mean,
no.
I think it's the single worst idea that I've heard. And we've heard some bad ideas. I think that one is the single worst.
Yeah, this is like AOC economics planning.
It's just almost unfathomably stupid. I don't know how else to put it, because I mean, from the party that brings you, it costs nothing, now brings you, we have to tax unrealized capital gains so that we can pay for it. What?
And people don't think about this, man. They don't think about this stuff. They just, oh yeah, they don't. They hardly ever get called on their contradictions. Although I have to say, more recently, by recently I mean the last few months, we've actually seen media calling them on their insanity. We've actually
some of it. See that. Peter Doocy's doing some pretty good job, a pretty decent job there. He's actually asking some of the tough questions. But let's keep going.